A high level of integrity is always wanting to add value, always wanting to add positivity and love to everything that you do and every situation that you involve yourself in. Leaving things better than how you found them, making people feel good, contributing to things in a productive and positive way. When people don't have a high level of integrity, they do things that are dishonest, they lie, they cheat, they steal, they manipulate, they become destructive. That type of energy is a very low vibration, and it comes from not having the discipline to want better and not wanting to strive for a more loving, peaceful state of being. When we have a high level of respect and love for ourselves, for the people in our lives, for the environments in which we live, it's only natural that we act out of love and light and positivity. So integrity is really built upon how much we love and respect ourselves. You know, what is it that we intend to emanate into the world? Is it goodness? You know, hey, I'm not perfect, but whatever I do, I don't want to hurt anybody. You know, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I don't want to make anybody feel bad. I don't want to be destructive or cause any sort of like disruption in people's lives. You know, I just want to live happily and healthily and positively and, you know, shine goodness and light into the world. Whenever you're coming from a place like that, you know, that's always going to cultivate a really high level of integrity. Every difficult situation, every difficult time in our life that we go through is brought to us in order to help elevate us into a higher version of ourselves. And when we can accept that, and when we can appreciate that, and when we can take it with love, and you know, be thankful for the opportunity to be stronger, and see what we can get out of it, and how we can be better, and how we can be more loving to ourselves or to other people, or to more loving in how we interact with the world. It's allowing us to build more integrity within ourselves. I think trying to break down morality into like rules in which people should abide by in order to be considered a moral person, I don't think that's helpful, because there's so many gray areas and there's so much confusion. There's so much room for error in that. I think a better approach for that is just saying, do everything with love. Do everything with love in your heart. And everything that you do will be good. It will. And even if you do something out of love and it doesn't turn out the way you think it will, it was served by love in order to help you grow. We're brought these difficult times, these difficult experiences, because we're meant to learn and we're meant to expand and we're meant to come into a deeper understanding of ourselves. So having a high level of integrity has nothing to do with like you being this perfect person at all in any way. It just means that you just want to do what's right. You just want to do what's right. Love is about doing the best thing. And sometimes the best thing doesn't feel like the nice thing, but it's the best for what's happening. You know, sometimes when you love yourself, you have to leave people behind. It doesn't sound nice, but it's the best thing. It's having the integrity to say, you know what, I see that, you know, maybe these people have tendencies that affect me negatively, and I have to move on, and I have to keep carrying my head up high and living in my high vibration and leave the low vibration stuff alone. So be mindful of like the types of energy that you surround yourself with, because if you are a person who wants to do the right thing and wants to live in a high vibration, and you consistently surround yourself with people who sort of pull you back into the negative energy, or kind of like, oh, you know, why are you doing stuff like that? Or, you know, when you're around people who sort of make it a lot easier to fall back into old tendencies that don't quite serve you, you have to understand when it's time to walk away from that in order to live in a space that allows you to have a higher level of integrity without you feeling like you are being a goody two shoes or something. Love is that one thing that goes beyond all barriers, all races, religions, cultures. Love is something that is universal, and we can get caught up in all the petty differences that we have, but at the end of the day, if we can all agree on love, that's where the sense of community comes in, and that sense of unity and oneness with everyone. And when we feel that type of fellowship with everyone based off of love, our integrity changes in terms of like wanting to be kinder to each other, and like just the quality of how we respect and interact with each other is so much greater. So much greater. It's like the concepts are very easy to understand and to grasp. The difficulty comes in the application. The difficulty comes in being in a situation where you're frustrated, when you're angry, when you want to tell a lie in order to kind of help the situation go your way, and deciding that that's not the right thing to do, even when it makes things a little more difficult for you. That's having integrity. That's choosing love. And the thing that makes you kind of want to not do it, and then you're just like, okay, I'm just gonna like do the right thing. That's like getting over a speed bump. And then when you can do that, it's gonna make it easier for you to do that more. So it's like a muscle that we have to exercise. It's never something that you just like, oh, I get it. Like, I just know exactly how to operate out of love all the time. No, life is gonna keep bringing you those obstacles to overcome, and you gotta keep going and keep going and keep building on it until you really master that ability to push through those uncomfortable situations where doing the right thing doesn't feel as easy as doing the wrong thing. But if you're committed to your integrity, if you're committed to being a good person and just wanting the best for yourself and for everyone involved, like you'll be able to do it. Like I said in my discipline video, like you just have to be disciplined enough to know when it's that time to like choose, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna go take the high road or take the low road? And taking that high road, no matter how difficult it is. Because once you do, it's like the growing pain takes you to a whole new level of living and a whole new level of experiencing and understanding. I was listening to this recorded lecture on YouTube. It was Aldous Huxley, and he was talking about the difference between knowledge and understanding. And he was talking about how knowledge is just everything that you can obtain from books. It's information, it's data, it's trivia. But understanding is something that cannot be taught. It can only be experienced by an individual. I can experience sadness or joy or whatever, but I can never communicate what that feeling was for me to anyone else. And everyone has their own unique opportunity to come into an understanding. And I think that's really important to remember. It's like, it doesn't matter how much stuff you know, how book smart you are, how much information that you can, remember and regurgitate out to other people. It's about, are you taking the time to truly understand and digest and like internalize what these things mean? Because if you don't have an understanding of it, it doesn't matter how much knowledge that you have. It doesn't matter. A great example of that is teachers who can't teach. Everybody has had a teacher who just cannot teach. They obviously know the information, but they're unable to communicate it to every person in the way that they need to understand it. And that's because their level of understanding isn't deep enough to be able to take the foundation of it and change it and make it something that can be digestible for everyone who's trying to learn it. They're just the type of person who yeah, they knew enough to get A's in the class or whatever and get their credentials, and they can spit it back out, but they don't truly understand it, and that's why they can't teach it. Or they can only teach it to people who are like them. In order to fully come into understanding, you really have to have the experience of it. And no one can do that for you but you. And I think that we need to give more time for ourselves to have these experiences and not worry so much about like the book smart aspect of, being a good person. It says that, you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do that. It's like, no, pay attention to like how you're moving through life. Pay attention to how you feel, what doesn't feel good to you, what does feel good to you, how does it feel when you know you've made the right decision in the most loving way. That's when you come into true understanding of love and what morality really is. Being a person of good character is just being consistently good intentioned. Consistently good intentioned. That's really all it is. Something that was very difficult for me was like trying to always do the right thing, but then like finding myself in situations where, issues came up. And it's like, oh man, you know what? Because of that decision that I made or because of that action that I took, this happened, this bad situation happened. And I would get angry like at the universe, like, I'm trying to be a good person. Why does this happen to me? I'm trying to do the right thing. And I really had to get out of that. And as soon as I realized, as soon as I came into the understanding that everything that comes our way is to teach us something and to help us grow into something better, I stopped saying, why is this happening to me? And I start literally just saying, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity to make me stronger. And that has really, really changed my experiences, and it's really helped me to develop that dedication of like, I have to be a warrior in this. I have to be really focused and stay grounded in the love that I know is inside my heart when these things come to me, in order to overcome them and to not suffer through them. Because man, I would internalize everything and I would just replay situations in my head and just like really have this anxious energy of like suffering through the things that I had to go through. But then when I was just able to be appreciative and be obedient to the journey of growing, it's like it takes away that struggle, and it makes life really beautiful. It's really beautiful to sit back and say, wow, I didn't realize that, I had this tendency to, hold on to things, or this tendency to expect certain things. And, I can really work on letting that go. I can really work on, whatever it is for you. And that's really loving yourself. And that's what the life journey is about. Giving yourself the space to learn and to understand and to develop into your greatest version. Everyone can do it. It's available to everyone. But people think that life is about, making that money and having those good experiences and all that stuff, all the physical, because it's a physical world. And it's not bad. It's not bad to want those things. It's not bad to want to live comfortably. It's not bad to want to experience the best that life has to offer. But what good is it when your heart isn't right? And you got to make sure that your heart is right first. And when your heart is right, it's like building on a sure foundation. It's like making sure that no matter what the physical brings you, that you're able to you're able to get through it and grow and learn. People can write books all day. People can talk to their blue in the face about it. People can lay it out as clear as possible. But until you commit to finding your understanding of it, it'll always just be knowledge. It'll always just be something that you hear and you can agree with and you can regurgitate, but you won't be able to practice it from an authentic place, the place of knowing. And that's where it has to come from. You have to practice doing good things because you just intuitively know why it's the better way to go.